Περιμένουμε ρεπορτάζ σε λίγο από πλευράς Ομόνιας. Αυτός που δείχνει συγκινημένος, όχι συγκινημένος, είναι ο Κακουλής. Ο Κακουλής κλαίει, έχει δακρύσει, γιατί επαναλαμβάνω για τον Κακουλή, όλες οι ενδείξεις δείχνουν ότι είναι το τελευταίο του παιχνίδι. Ο Κακουλής είναι μαζί με τους υπόλοιπους μπροστά από το βόρειο πέταλο. Είναι πάρα πολύ δυνατή στιγμή εδώ. Με τον Ανδρώνικο Κακουλή να είναι δακρυσμένος. Ξέρει ότι ό,τι έχει πετύχει μέχρι τώρα ποδοσφαιρικά το οφείλει σε αυτή την ομάδα, στον κόσμο της και στην υποστήριξη που είχε ο ίδιος στο πρόσωπό του. Είναι έτοιμος για να κάνει το βήμα στο εξωτερικό, όπως όλα δείχνουν. Και αποθεώνεται, τα συνθήματα είναι για τον Ανδρώνικο Κακουλή, ο οποίος, το ξαναλέω, είναι συγκινημένος. Πάει και ο Κούσουλος κοντά του, τον βλέπετε, είναι δακρυσμένος ο σέντερφορ της Ομόνιας, και δικαιολογημένο αυτό, διότι έχει ζήσει σπουδαίες στιγμές με αυτήν την ομάδα. Τον βλέπετε τον Ανδρώνικο Κακουλή, ο οποίος αποχαιρετάει τους φίλους του της Ομόνιας και ετοιμάζεται για το ταξίδι στη Σκανδιναβία, όπως όλα δείχνουν, στην Γκέντεμποργκ, η οποία θα είναι η επόμενη ομάδα για τον Κύπριο Διεθνή Επιθετή.
Edo, welcome to Nochoftes. We're going to be discussing the 1-0 victory over Fehervar. I'm here, Petros here, Roy's here again. But there's only one place to start, boys and girls. And I think we're all kind of feeling a little bit emotional at the moment because Andronico is going to Gothenburg. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Kalispera, Petro, Kalispera, Stel. How are you guys? I think you said the key word, emotional. Andronikos is a player. I mean, there's been a project going on in our team trying to promote talents from the academies of Omonia, Andronikos being one of them. I think that you know, from the youngsters that got the opportunity to play in Omonia, I include Marinos, Loizos, Hambos. Okay, Nicolas is not a product of our academy, but we consider him as one of our own. He's probably the player that was blessed with the less talent, but the effort he put, his work ethic, has been close to none. He always started as a second or third option in our team and managed to give his all. He has been through some very unfair criticism, in my opinion, throughout these years, and I really hope that they treat him with more respect where he's going to go there, and I really wish him all the best. And I think that he will manage to help the team he's going to go to, because he's got some attributes that are not easy to find nowadays. Like I said, it was emotional. We as a pod, I think we have supported Andronikos throughout his career when he has been, I repeat, through some, in my opinion, unfair criticism. I understand that he does have some weaknesses, but people would always seem to concentrate on those rather than what he did well, and he has helped the team a lot. And I'm sad to see him go, but at the same time, I'm proud for him, and I wish him all the best. Petro?
Well, what can you say about Gago? Definitely, like you said, Roy, a young product of Omonia, which is his team in Cyprus. He loves the team. He grew up in the team. He played for the team he loved from a very young age, from the grassroots to the academies, to the second team, to the first team, with that bunch of young Cypriot players that came out in that specific season under Mr. Berg. definitely Gago is an example of a hard-working football player. He might not be the football player that will score every goal, do everything in the game, be successful every single time, but you cannot disrespect his ethics, his efforts, his mentality that he has to working as a football player. Many times turned into a god after scoring a goal. Other times talks against him, missing a goal or having a bad game. But people must understand that Gagolis is still a youngster, and any football player is going to have a great day, and any football player is going to have a bad day. Maybe us, yes, we did support him here in the pod, but maybe us as fans, I'm going to talk in general, not for the pod, as Omonia fans, listening to Gagolis speaking tonight, maybe we owe an apology, I would say, towards him for the hard criticism. And let this be a lesson to all of us that the players do listen to what the fans say. So think twice before you talk bad about any player, because you don't know what each individual is going through. Each person has its own life. Yeah, there might be football players, but they have a personal life outside of football also. And us bad mouthing anyone definitely is not going to be something to help them. From my personal side, I just, what I have to say is just respect for Gagolis. I wish for him all the best in his endeavors, in his new endeavors coming ahead. I have no doubt in my mind that the fans are going to love him where he's going because of his ethics and because of his mentality to put his head down, work hard, and you can make sure that he's going to give his all to bring success to your team. Sometimes he'll make it, maybe sometimes he'll not, but know that always he's working for the best of the team. And good luck to him.
This is a difficult one for me. It's a difficult one for me because this is a player that I've supported for the last 4 years. The first conversation I had with Gago was on the 2nd of November 2020. And that was after the Olympiacos game where we lost 1-0, and there were stories about him and the younger players joking and laughing around in the dressing room after the loss. And I said to him, File, you have an opportunity here. You and the younger players have an opportunity here, not because you're at a great club, but because you have some phenomenal players around you that have got experience. Thomas Huberchan, Jordi Gomez, Marko Shepovic, Eric Botiak, Jan Lesiaks, Lufna, Lang, Fabiano. Listen, I'm reading off a list of that team that won the league, right? And something that we've always said on this podcast, if the younger players do not learn from the older players, then they shouldn't be professional footballers, right? But I'm not going to apologize because I haven't been critical of Gagoli. Yes, I have said that he needs to improve a lot of elements to his game, but I've been one of his biggest supporters. And I've been saying it for a long time that the lad has got everything there is required to make it at the top level. We're talking attitude, application, the willingness to overcome criticism week in, week out. I've seen the photographs, I've seen the videos that people have made of him. And to be honest, he's overcome it. And believe it or not, there are going to be haters still out there right now. But the fact is, Gagoli is going to a huge club. Because don't think of Gothenburg or Gothenburg, as we call them in England. Don't look at them and think, oh, they haven't won the Swedish Shining. I remember Gothenburg when they were very successful in the 90s, playing in the Champions League. And this club has got a big fan base, a big stadium, rich history in Sweden, right? And for him to go to that club is huge. It's absolutely huge. And again, it's a testament to him. This is a boy that never gets into trouble. You never hear about him causing problems. You never hear about any drama for the boy. He works hard. Every player that I know that has played alongside him, every striker I know that has played alongside him, say that his attitude is second to none. And that's not even talking about his ability. And I'm going to talk about his ability because I made some short videos, and I'm sure Omonia are going to do their own video package of, the goals that he scored. And, people are going to say, well, he hasn't scored enough goals. But I will always say he's been playing up front on his own for a lot of the time. He's been doing a lot of running. He's been doing a lot of tracking, a lot of things off the ball, which people don't seem to take into consideration. They don't talk about the penalties that he's won. They don't talk about the free kicks that he's won, the corners that he's won, because of the amount of running and pressing and tracking that he's done. Not just running towards goal, but coming back. I've got receipts. I haven't done a full video because yellow cards that penalties that he's won. Listen, and what about the goal against FC Basel? I don't even have that clip where he's done the Ronaldo chop and he's put it in the bottom corner. But anyway, we won't talk about that just yet. But I've taken some videos. I didn't have enough time to do a whole video montage. I only did it today. I've got a few clips, and these are things that Gaguli has done off the ball. His tracking, his running, closing down players, a few kicks here and there, the dark arts of football, tracking and chasing down the goalkeeper. And people are going to be looking at me saying, oh, what are you fucking talking about? You know what you're talking about. It's called work rate. This is even humble getting involved in things. Yeah. But, this lad has got so much about him. All right. And yes, he needs to add more goals to his game. I agree. Finishing isn't his key strength, but he gets in the right positions. Right. And this is what I keep saying about the boy. If he keeps persevering, he's going to be a fantastic player. He's only 23 years old, boys and girls. Right. You tell me a striker at 23 years old, that's the finished article. Right. I can't think of one. And people can say, well, but Haaland. Haaland is still not the finished article because he's still got more to his game. Still got loads to learn. Right. And Gaguli, for me, I am fucking proud of him. I mean, look at this, man. He wasn't even in the picture at the time, and yet he's still tracking back. This is the movement of the ball causing problems, playing off the defender's shoulder, pace kills. This is him winning the penalty against Ari. Again, people saying, well, why didn't he score that header? Well, it was handball. It was handball. And even tonight, guys, he was doing the same stuff, tracking, winning balls, bringing the ball down. This is him coming. Oh, this is the last time we're going to see him come on as an Omonia player for now anyway. This is him fighting to try and win the ball back. Check it out. Here he is out your picture. Thank you very much. He's got tenacity. He's got attitude. He's got heart. Look at this. The way he brings the ball down. Come on. Put some respect on this lad's name, man. I'm tired of listening to all the slander. Brings the ball down, wins a free kick. And these little things count. Winning free kicks, all that kind of stuff, because it adds. If you've got tall strikers and tall central defenders that are good at set pieces to win headers, winning free kicks in that area is great. So it's what he does off the ball that counts. And these are the things that we've been saying for God knows how long. Roy, remember when we started doing this pod, when Dura was getting all the criticism, we kept saying, it's what he does off the ball. And I'll credit my mate Leon Knight that used to play for Chelsea for always telling me this. He told me this 12 years ago. It's not what strikers do when they're scoring. It's what they do when they're not scoring. What they're doing off the ball. Their link-up play. Their just their ability to hold up. Just these little things, the 1%. And Gaguli does the 1%. And all the people that were slandering him, saying not getting enough goals, well, he's going to be playing for a huge club right now. So put some respect on his name. I'm done.
Good luck, Gaguli μου. Good luck, Andronike μου. We will be να σε παρακολουθούμε, να σε θωρούμε και να θέλουμε πάντα το καλύτερο για σένα.
And after you play for a few years for them, come back to us.
No. Let me tell you what. He's going to go to that league, and I'll tell you this now. 2 or 3 seasons, if he does well, he's going to go to a bigger club. No disrespect to Gothenburg, right? But we've seen the amount of players that have come out of Sweden, right? And listen, just check that club, that particular club. the amount of players that have left that club to go to. I remember Jesper Blomqvist. I think Blomqvist left them to go to Man United. So you never know. You never know. I'm just saying.
Well,
and let's not forget he made his 100th appearance for us, and they gave him the captain's armband at Old Trafford, so he can handle pressure as well. Don't get it twisted.
And he would have scored if someone passed the ball.
Yeah. If Bruno Mars, hadn't decided to shoot himself square in it, Guggle would have got a goal. Isn't it funny Isn't it funny how Bruno Felipe is regressing at Buffon and Bruno Mars is regressing in real life? Anyway, coincidental. Sorry. Anyway. Right, guys. We've got a small matter of a game to talk about now. Roy, opening thoughts, bro. Opening thoughts.
Yeah, it was important that we dedicated some of our time for Andronikos because, he's been a very important player for us. But yeah.
And he's been an important part of this podcast as well. He's been a very important part of it.
Yeah. And he has been supportive of our pod as well. When we finished our last podcast last week, I had said that the game against Fehervar is going to be more difficult than the one we had with the team from Georgia. But I said that it's important, like in any European game, when you're playing at home, especially the first leg, that you get that result that's going to increase your opportunities, or say the chances of you going through to the next round. I think that the result is not fair. I think we could have scored more goals and made the second leg a lot easier for us. But unfortunately, we were a bit wasteful in the opportunities that we had. But overall, I think without really knowing our opponents for the majority of the game, we were the better team. I mean, there were some spells and maybe a few mistakes that individual mistakes mostly, not so much tactical mistakes. But it's a result that nonetheless gives us an advantage. I think that we can go away from home and score a goal. This team that I saw today, unless they show a completely different Prosobon at home, I think we do have the advantage to go through. But definitely a 1-0 victory is always very dangerous because it only takes a lapse of concentration, a mistake, one wrong decision for the game to change. But like I said, I think that even though we did enough to win, we didn't do enough to secure a bigger result for us that would have made the second leg probably a bit more easier. This is as an opening statement, and then we can go into more detail about the lineup, how we saw the first half, the second half, and all of that. Petro?
Well, I think I'm going to go straight into the first half, second half thing, since you made a general talk about the game as a whole, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Well, basically, always there are two teams playing a game. It's not just one. And you would expect the teams that are playing that they will have their good moments and bad moments. In the game that I saw tonight, in the first half, Fehervar was good from the 17th to the 22nd minute, and that was it for the first half, where they had more ball possession, nothing up and up. This happened after one mistake in the defensive line, where they had one shot that went over the bars, and from that that happened at the 17th minute. And from there on, they had more of the ball until the 22nd minute. They were pressing more. They were trying to push us more, but without any real danger, I must say. Other than that, nothing. Our team was definitely the best team of the first half of the game, and it's a shame that we only scored one goal in this game. Then, if I go from there on a quick note to the second half of the game, second half, their team changed attitude towards us. They came at us. They started pressing from the first minute of the second half. They started pressing higher, and that opened up the game a little bit. They created more chances, but it was a 50-50 game for me, the second half. It wasn't that they were better than us. And even though it was a 50-50 game, the most clear chances, if someone was going to score a goal, were ours. It was not for Fehervar. Stel.
Oh boy. Okay, so look, this is something that we keep going on about on Nochoftes. In games against tougher opponents, you're going to get few opportunities. And today we had more than a few opportunities, but you need to make them count because you get punished. And fortunately, we weren't punished. I wouldn't say we had heart-in-mouth moments. Yes, Fehervar had one chance in the first half where he put it over the bar in a 1v1 situation, a bit more composure. We could have been a goal down. Okay, fine. Second half, they had more shots outside the box, which, guys, sorry to say this and sorry to do it, but if you go in the members area for 99 cents a month, you'd have seen the analysis that we did. Most of their chances have come from wide areas, bring the ball inside and shooting. And this is what they were doing against us. Also for 99 cents a month in the analysis area, or the members area, you'd have seen the analysis where we were talking about how Fehervar liked to get men behind the ball and hit teams on the counter-attack, which is what they did in the first half. They had the game plan. What they wanted to do was basically suck up pressure and try hit us on the counter-attack. Keep the fans quiet, which is what they keep saying. Keep the home fans quiet. Stifle the fans, stifle the team, stifle the fans, keep the noise down. It reduces the pressure and allows you to play your game. Second half, as you quite rightly said, Petros, they changed their game plan. They made 2 substitutions at half-time, and they pressed higher up the field. They played 10, 15 yards further up the field. They tried to stop us from playing out from the back, which is what we were doing first half, playing the ball out from the back. They invited the pressure. They invited the pressure. What they had the 4 defenders, right? And what they did, they moved very, very narrow. And they asked their 2 wide men to slip in. So it's almost as if they had 4 centre-backs and 2 wing-backs. But what they did, they doubled up on Semedo and Hamas, which is why Evandro had to move into a wide area. So it was a clever system from them. I think they knew that we wouldn't have more of a threat on the right-hand side because Simic would be making those diagonal runs or spinning off and Dionko would be overlapping. So I think they identified that. But because we had to compensate on the right-hand side, we'd see Arakovic almost moving into a right-back area or even a right-wing area. So more like a right centre mid. Anyway, long and short of it is we had a lot of chances first half. I think Stepinski's miss, I think it was the 3rd miss where the ball's come towards him and he's headed it over the bar. That was the worst one for me.
Yeah.
And look, I can sit here and be critical of the guy, and I should be critical of the guy. But then that would be me being hypocritical because I gave Galguili a lot of blighs. Let him off a lot of times for the missed opportunities. And I was saying, look, at least he's getting in the right area. But the fundamental difference is Stepinski is an established striker that scored goals in Cyprus already, in Ligue 1, and we're in Serie A. And he should know better. But to his credit, he kept going. There were occasions where he was getting frustrated, but he was doing his job. He was trying to win the ball back. He was tracking back. And yeah, there were some moments where he was greedy, but this is what strikers do. He took his goal very well. very well. And I think he was a little bit fortunate because the bounce kind of deceived the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Because the bounce that gave the ball a bit of a skid, and the goalkeeper, I think, was expecting the ball to go over the bar. But then if you watch the replay, the goalkeeper's gone, when the ball's bounced. So he knew he was fucked.
Yeah.
But
I
look,
think I'm gonna. You said that he did what he was supposed to be doing. I think, in my opinion, he overdid himself, especially in the first half. He was doing so much running. He was fighting all the time alone. He was not getting. I would like to see him getting more support, especially in the first half. By the 20th minute, he has done more running than all the team together.
I have a reason for that, Pedro.
Okay.
I have a reason for that. And I'm going to do that in the members area for 99 cents a month. And by the way, tomorrow, if you are in the members area and you watch it live, I'm going to have a former Omonia player with me to do the analysis as well. So we're leveling up. Just saying. Anyway, so there is a reason for it. And the reason is a certain Brazilian player.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm not going to say too much about that because people are going to start calling me a hater, but I have my reasons for being critical of this. But anyway, Roy hasn't said much, bro. Come on.
Okay, I had a more general sort of comment to make about the game. I think that I will agree with Petros that Fehervar, after the 15th, 17th minute, when they kept possession of the ball, up until that point, I think if I did count well, we had like almost 4 chances that could have easily been a goal. We had one with Nicolas. We had a penalty that I don't know if it was on
Yeah, I wanted
Semedo.
to ask Stel about that because I was not clear from what was saying.
We had some opportunities, mostly with Stepinski. So the enthusiasm and the fans, which we had to, is something that we have to discuss about. I think the atmosphere today was very good as well. There's a blatant attempt to organize that part of on the stands to get more vocal support from the fans, not just limited to the οργανωμένους αθλείς. So, ο ενθουσιασμός εκείνης της στιγμής νομίζω ότι βοήθησε μας πολλά να μπούμε δυνατά στο παιχνίδι. After the 15th minute, Fehervar got more possession of the ball and we couldn't get the first, second or third balls, but at the same time they weren't really a threat to us in any way. In the first half, I thought that we could have tried to play a little bit more on the right-hand side, even though it seems that from the first few games, the left-hand side is the side where we prefer to attack, either because, in before Hambos was leaning towards the left with Hamas and Semedo, and they made a triangle there. And there were times where I saw especially Diungu overlapping and he was alone, and we chose to either hold the ball too much or wait for someone to move on the left, and that gave the opportunity to Fehervar to defend better. I thought that maybe if we did move the ball more to the right, Fehervar would have had to adjust the way they defended and move players on that side of the pitch as well, and give us more opportunities. Like I said, overall, I think we could have scored 1 or 2 goals in the first half. We didn't, and when you go in the dressing room with a 0-0 after missing all these chances, you can't help but think that I don't know, maybe it's not
one of those days.
Or maybe it's one of those days where we just keep missing chances. I was discussing with some friends there. I wouldn't change anything in the second half, to be honest, because I was discussing with others there, if we would have changed something. I predicted the changes we made in the game except of Lang, who basically substituted Diunku. But the second half, like you guys rightly said, our opponents made some changes. They tried to move further up the field, and I think that's where we started moving the ball more to the right-hand side and started playing. Simic got more involved. Diungu was getting more involved. Evandro was trying to find the pockets of space from being more statical in his way of play and not doing much off the ball. But when the ball was on his feet, he seemed to be a threat for the opponents. The goalkeeper, I think, did a very good job today. I think he was the best player of
yeah, it was
our
their
opponents.
MVP, definitely.
He saved some really difficult shots, and I think we were. I don't want to use the word lucky, but I think maybe Stepinski didn't want to hit the ball the way he did, but because of that, we scored the goal, I think. And then, like I said, if there was a team that should have or could have scored another goal, it was us. We didn't, and now we have to go to the next game and try and adopt to a style of play where he's gonna get us to the next round, which is what we want. And I do believe that we're a better team than them, and we can go away from home and score. So hopefully there's going to be an improvement both in the mentality of the players to continue what we started and finish the job.
Look, I think we need to take into account that this Fehervar team is quite young. There's a lot of young players in this team.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going to have a lot of energy and the youthful exuberance, and we need to be very, very cautious of this second leg. Now, I don't think their stadium's going to be full, which will be good for us. But looking at the two sides of Omonia today, right? When you see the first half, we played against a team with effectively 10 men behind the ball, and we struggled to break them down. And yes, we were getting in behind them a few times. Semedo was trying a little bit too hard sometimes when the simple ball was on. The Brazilian was trying all these flicks and tricks. And look, while it's great as a supporter when you're watching a player with flair, when it's 0-0 and doing flicks, back heels, trying to scoop the ball over, for me, if I want to see a circus act, I'll go to the circus. If I want to see a street performer, I'll go to Oxford Circus, right? I want a footballer that does the basics, right? If you're 3 or 4-0 up and you're doing flicks and tricks, fantastic, right? But there's a time and a place for this. And there were some occasions where I was getting very frustrated with him, especially his work rate off the ball and the lack of desire to win challenges. But anyway, I'm not going to dig him out because we won the game. But my main concern first half was the fact that we weren't able to find the back of the net. But this goes back to something again, I repeat, you're going to get minimal opportunities. You need to put them away because you're going to get punished if you don't. Right?
But today wasn't minimal. That's the point. Today wasn't minimal.
No, but we still didn't take the opportunities, Petros.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
You know, Stepinski had, 4 chances first half?
Yeah, one was hitting the post.
Right.
One was
And actually, against Gudesi, he had 1 chance and he scored it. Right? You could say that's a great ratio, 1-in-1.
Is my internet freezing? Sorry, guys. Is my internet freezing?
No.
Okay.
No,
you're fine.
You're right for
fine.
now. You're right for now.
You're fine. Yeah.
You're right for now. But you need to take these opportunities. You need to take them. But that doesn't just go for Stepinski. It goes for other players as well. Right? So anyway, look, like I said, my main concern was the fact that we struggled to kind of break them down first half, right? Second half, when they made the substitutions and they started playing further up, I was like, this is great. This is what I want. I want them to come at us.
Yeah, I want them to open up the spaces.
Yeah, bravo. But on the counter-attack, we look threatening. You know, Diunku's cross for the goal. I mean, let's talk about Stepinski's goal, but his cross, right? And even the build-up to the goal. You know, even the build-up to the goal. That was fantastic. So you know, Stupinski will get his flowers for the goal, but we had a lot of good play today. And Irakovic in the 6, Irakovic again today, levels.
And Maric.
Listen, okay, Maric was, but again,
and Simic.
So look,
yeah.
Like I said, we saw two sides of Omonia today. We saw the Omonia where we were trying to like unlock the door in the first half, and in the second half, the counter-attacking. It's the third side of Omonia that I haven't seen yet, where the backs are against the wall and there's pressure constantly, because you're going to get wave after wave. There's going to be times where we're playing opponents where they're going to be constant 4 or 5 minute spell of possession and attacking and attacking. Can they handle it? We haven't seen it yet. So until I see that, I'm going to be Buster Framo, I'm going to be on the fence. But listen, I'm not complaining.
To be honest, because we did say in the last game that we found our defense being a little bit sloppy at times in the previous game. I think in this game they didn't. They didn't look sloppy. A bit scared maybe at times, but I don't have any complaints from our defensive line. I think they were
in the members. Oh my god! What is this guy doing?
Shit.
What is he doing? What is it? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Wow.
Like, bro, like, okay, thank you for a start. I mean, that's just like, you know, this is the first time we're speechless. But thank you, Christo. You are a diamond guy. And I think we need to send him a fanella, man. We need to send him a fanella.
Definitely 1,000,000%.
Look, our t-shirt guy's on holiday from Friday, by the way. So you're going to have to wait until he's back from holiday. But you just message us and let us know your shirt size and we'll sort you out a fanella, bro. I'll give him a hoodie. It's not hoodie weather yet in Cyprus, is it?
No, it's going to take a long time for a hoodie.
Hoodie weather,
I was sitting in the stands and I was sweating. It was such a fucking bad night. So much humidity. I don't know how the players were playing. I was sitting on a fucking chair and I was sweating. Unbelievable. And he's talking about hoodies. Thank
you, Christo. Okay, we'll give him 2 finalists. All right, you let us know what you want, Christo, more, and thank you very much for your support, bro. That's incredible. That's wow. Okay, I lost a trail of thought. Sorry, you were saying about the defending.
Yeah,
you're saying about defending. Well, during the analysis, I was talking about my concern about us. Okay, my concern was Fehervar winning the first and second balls. And by that, I mean, you know, if they cross the ball in the box and we head it away, who's going to win the first ball? Is it going to be them or us? And a lot of their chances created was from them winning the first, second, and even third balls. So they're able to get, like, you know, the goal that we conceded against Kudaisi, the first game, where they, you know, there was a long ball, but then we cleared it, but then they won it back, and then we tried to win it back, and then they won similar to that. That's how Fehervar have been creating chances this season based on that, right? But today, we were winning first balls, second balls, we were going in 50-50 challenges, apart from one player. But the fight was there as well. So again, I think this is more a follow-up mentality from Yanni. And obviously with Dambraskas coming and saying, right, we need ball winners here. We don't want people to be playing pretty football. We want you to get stuck in. Hamas was diving in with challenges. Diunka was doing it. This is great. We didn't have that previously.
No.
Didn't have that previously. So perhaps the see you next Tuesday mentality is being pushed in them, which is what we need. What do you reckon, Roy? You are what you eat.
We've done 40 minutes, and I think there's still quite, okay, maybe not so much to discuss about the game, but we've got the losses, we've got the messages that I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people watching us. How many people are watching us? We haven't said that.
At the moment.
Εντάξει, πρέπει να μας κάνουν να έχουμε τουλάχιστον 100 likes ως τώρα.
Like, subscribe.
Και για το pod, και για το members only, και για τον κάκου μας, και για την νίκη σήμερα. Για όλους τους λόγους. I was going to ask about who your MVP was for today. But before that, do you want to briefly discuss about the substitutions? Okay, I know most of them got introduced towards not the dying minutes, but they didn't have so much time to show, even though there were 6 minutes of stoppage time and another 7 maybe for them. So just under 15 minutes for them to make an impact in the game. Who was your MVP, and do you think that the changes helped the game? Like, for example, Hambos was the first substitution when he substituted Evandro, and I think he did what you were saying, Stel. He was more simple with his. He was being humble, more confident, not confident, but like more σίγουρος στις μεταβιβάσεις του, προσπαθούσε να μπει μέσα. Εντάξει, είπαμε και για τον Κάκου που μπήκε στη θέση του Στεπίνσκι, μπήκε ο Κούσου. Yeah.
Who are you talking about, sorry?
The substitutions.
Well, so Humble came on, Gusu came
Kaku came on, Gusu came on.
Yeah. Gagu, Lang, okay, 1 minute. Lang, Gagu, Gusu, and Humble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, look, when Humble came on for Evandro, I'm pretty certain that was because Dambraskas saw that, number one, Evandro looked a little bit leggy. He looked a little bit tired.
Yeah.
You could tell that he hasn't got 90 minutes in him. Not in these kind of games as well, because don't forget, Fehervar are a slightly higher level than Torpedo, Kudaisi. Let's get that right, okay? So he probably saw that he doesn't have the legs at the moment, maybe fatigue and stamina. And also, I think the indiscipline, and when I say indiscipline, I don't mean fouls and everything. I mean, there were many occasions where you're thinking, chase, track a man, try and win the ball. There was one point in the first half, again, I made the note of it, I'm going to show it in the analysis video. He's arguing with Irakovic. Irakovic is like, pick a man, because what was happening is, Evandro played as the 10, and Irakovic is behind him as the 6, and Maric is at the 8, or whatever, right? The two holding midfielders. And instead of Evandro tracking a central midfielder, right, to allow Irakovic to hang back a little bit and to maybe win the ball if necessary, he's just standing there, walking around, and Irakovic is like, go to that player because I'm going to have to go to him, which means they've got a man spare. So again, it's the indiscipline. Now, I don't know whether maybe it's a Brazilian thing. I don't know. It's a Brazilian forward thing where they just don't want to work. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But it's times like this where I sit there and think, it's no surprise you played for 13 different clubs, mate, when clearly you can't listen to instructions. Now, again, maybe this is me being harsh on the guy.
Let's not go there from now.
But what I'm saying is, right, you can, okay, I shot down Alium, right, from the first day because I saw him running around from like a headless chicken, right? But again, he was 19 at the time. 19?
Yeah.
He's 28 years old, this guy. Okay? And there's a fundamental difference here. Because he's 28 years old and he doesn't want to do the donkey work, then we're going to have problems. And I think this is something that Dambraskas knows already. And I think he put him in the team because he felt that in between the two central midfielders of theirs and their two central defenders, there were opportunities. But the lad wasn't doing his role as a guy. Yes, he was doing some back heels, and yes, he'd made a couple of lovely passes. I'm not saying he had a terrible game, far from it. But it's the off-the-ball stuff that annoyed me the most. And that's something that he needs to get in because this coach ain't going to stand for it. If you ain't going to do your job, he's going to chuck you out. This coach ain't going to mess around. It's a different mentality at this club now, right? If you fuck about, you find out. Another player has been fucking about and he's finding out, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's a change in mentality. And that's how it needs to be. And this should have been changed a long time ago. But hey, they're getting it right now. So if this lad comes in and he thinks it's going to be all fucking, Rumors nightclub and partying with Chris, ain't going to be like that, bro. Sorry, Chris. If he comes in your bar, you tell him to fuck off. It's that simple. I'm just saying.
Anyway,
but again, give him time. Give him time.
Yeah. Okay. I think there are going to be games where he's going to be important. Maybe when so demanding when it comes to the movement of the ball and the defending. Maybe some games where, you know, a lot of teams are going to defending with the double zone or with the blocks or whatever. And I think he showed glimpses of what he can do. And yes, granted, I think he's like a typical old school Brazilian who plays more like street football. He's blessed with a lot of skill, and okay.
Roy, I don't think
be
number 10 is his best position, though. Judging by today, I don't think 10 is his position.
What do you think is his position then, Still?
I don't know, bro. This is the thing. Because I haven't seen him run at a defender. Do you get what I'm saying? So I can't say that, you know, he's like a wide man. He can attack a player.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen him do enough as a Degari in this game for me to say that's his position. But I haven't seen him play as a number 8. Maybe that's his. I don't know. But again, it's only the third bloody game this season.
We'll wait and see. We need the scope, the depth. We need the different characteristics. I think he's going to be an important player for us. And when games are a bit more demanding and you demand more discipline and off the ball movement, maybe they're going to choose someone else instead of him. And that's the whole point of having squad depth and players with different characteristics. Who was your MVP?
Petro?
For me, Stabinski. Not so much for the goal, but all the fucking work he has put in tonight. Unbelievable work, unbelievable running. He wasted so much energy in the first half trying to cover areas and run this way and run that way and come back. For me, it was Stabinski. His work ethics tonight were amazing.
Roy?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Petros. I was thinking that had he, okay, don't get me wrong, the job of a center forward is to score goals. But when he can't, like you said before, for Duris and Chepa and Gagu and all that, is what he does off the ball. But definitely, I'm going to agree that Stabinski is not a youngster, and he has played on a higher level, and he should have scored more goals. But that frustration turned into determination, and you could see him tracking back, moving, pressing. I'm going to agree again with Petros that the first 20-25 minutes, he was probably the guy who ran the most. I don't know whether it is the fact that, you know, there's talk about us signing new strikers all the time and that we're going to spend a lot of money on a new striker, whether it touched his ego as well. The fact that he scored the goal and it was the decider as well is going to help as well. But overall, I think that his overall work ethic and the fact that I always say that you should turn your disappointment into determination. I think I'm going to give it to him. I also like Diungu, especially the second half. That's another player. I hope that, you know, his injury is probably.
I think it was a cramp, Roy. I think it was a cramp. Which is understandable because he hasn't played any games this year, just 10 minutes here and there. It was his first game from the beginning, and he did run a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
So I like Diungu a lot, and but I think I'm going to give it to Stabinski. Still.
For me, it's a difficult one. I was tempted to give it to Stepinski, but to be honest, there's a few other players I think worked much harder. For me, Irakovic was absolutely sublime again. Absolutely sublime, man. I've got this man crush on him. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he's. Do you know what, right?
I know what you like. You like this thing that he holds his hair back.
I don't know, bro. Do you know what it is?
You're gay.
No, do you know what it is, right? Listen. It's big 2024, yeah, right? You saw the club's kit launch. You want to talk about that? Okay, let's go with rainbows and yeah. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that, yeah. But look, well, I think what it also is for me is when he drops his socks down, like how Jack Grealish does it, or when Gaza did it back in the day, and Platini, yeah, we can see the shin pads, that kind of baller kind of thing. Look, for me, he's an outstanding player. He was dictating the tempo. Him and Maric clearly have something there. I thought he was going to be playing further up the field, but he played as that 6, and he's got this Pirlo thing about him. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's the same kind of player before people start clipping this and start saying, Stel said he's like Pirlo. No, he's got this swagger about him. He's composed. He was taking set pieces. He was taking corners and free kicks, and they were hitting their target, So I think he was sensational. I think Maric was brilliant. Hamas had a very good game. I think he went under the radar today. Okay, well, Stepinski made how many mistakes first half?
Exactly. No, I agree with you.
Come on, man.
I agree with you, man. I'm just saying it because some of the fans were like, ooh. And I was like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about.
This is what happens. This is what happens. Yeah. This is what happens. Listen, more than one thing can be true at the same time. Yeah, let's just agree with that.
Yeah.
I think Koulibaly had a good game. Pana had a good game. I mean, Roy mentioned earlier that opportunity. He didn't know anything about it, to be honest. When the ball came towards him, I think the central defender put him off, and he knew nothing about it. Semedo was decent, but again, Semedo showed the frustrating side of Semedo today, whereby he was doing a little bit too much when the simple pass was on. But don't forget that link-up play with him, Evandro and Hamas looks promising. Even I'm mentioning Evandro was all right at times. Simic was fantastic again. Simic was his 8 out of 10 Park Ji-sung under the radar performance.
He's the New Year revelation.
Well, especially the second half. I think the second half mostly because the first half, like I said, they chose not to play on that side a lot. And Okay, so we've done 51 minutes. Θέλεις να φτιάσεις ρε Πέτρο δηλώσεις του προπονητή και να ανεβάσουν και λίγα μηνύματα επειδή...
It's not much. He's not much from the coach. Yadi is from the webpage. I'm sure he's not everything. I don't want commercials. Basically, he's saying congratulations to everyone, to the people, to the EGC, to the players. For the first time, we kept 0 in the game, something which is very important.
Clean sheet. Yay.
Clean sheet, yeah. But 1-0, it may be a little bit small if we take under consideration the opportunities that we've made. We controlled the game psychologically. We were in a very good level. 1-0 is going to keep us active so that we don't relax. Having in mind the upcoming game in Hungary. About Diungu, he said that it was just cramps and Saturday he'll be ready for practice. And he was also asked if Omonia is going to be taking 2 strikers after the pending departure of Gaguli.
They always have to ask about transfers in the press conference. I mean, one press conference, give the guy a break.
Oh, okay. I'm happy with what I'm reading now. We're trying to bring in another striker. Bakit is not on the list because of the rule of Europe with the, what do you call it? So Bakit is not out. Yay! I'm happy now that I read that. Shit. So for Gaguli, we're going to wait for the official announcements. That's it, more or less. I'm happy about Bakit now.
I'll be honest. We do need a striker. Okay, and this isn't knocking Bakit, right? But okay, Gaguli is going. But this goes back to something that we spoke about in the WhatsApp group today, in the sense that our style of play this season is different to the back end of last season with Yanni. Last season was more like a 4-5-1, counter-attacking football, hit them on the counter. Now it's front foot football. And I'm going to repeat what I said in the WhatsApp group. Remember Chelsea under Mourinho when they had Robben and Duff and Joe Cole on one side, and then you had Lampard there dictating the tempo with, I don't know who's in the middle of the park with him. It was flipping hell. They had loads of players, Makalele and all that kind of stuff. They needed that focal point up front, the guy that could hold up the ball, that could bring players into play and score goals, and they had it in Drogba, right? And the style of play that we do now, when you got that number, that centre forward, right, you need someone strong that can hold up the ball, but also with a bit of pace on them that can cause a bit of problems, right? Which is why when I see that we're linked with Samatta and we're linked with that Jonsson, they fit that style, that mold. They're strong, they're quick, they're good in the air, And as we saw today, the deliveries in the box, we're seeing more and more crosses in the box now. It's not about passing it around and trying to bring it in the... Go on.
Just to, now that you said about the crosses in the box, today they were a lot better than in the previous 2 games. The crosses in the box were in a lot better positioning and a lot better hits
More
for the ball
dangerous.
bringing it in the box. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if
You're right. The set pieces were still shit though. I'm not gonna lie, but work in progress. You can't have everything. So look, I think again we've got more things to be positive about. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Well, even if we're winning 1-0, even if the next game is a 0-0 draw, I don't give a shit. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, the fact is we go through. If we go through, inshallah, we played one of 2 very tricky teams. You know, it's going to be a sticky one. But for now, happy days.
Let's put it this way: Torpedo, before coming to play against Omonia, there were 18 games undefeated. Fehervar, before coming to play with Omonia, there are 4 games undefeated. Both of them lost.
All records are there to be broken, bro.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah.
But I have one question before we go to the messages, like in the general sphere of things. Okay, we've seen the team now in 3 official games. Did you expect that you would see this level of gameplay from the team at this point in time? And are you happy with it?
Roy?
Okay, I don't want to be too quick to jump into conclusions, and when people ask me what I think of this season,
not for the season, 3 games up until now.
The truth is that, like Stel said, there are more positives than negatives. It's obvious that there's a change in the style of play we want to play. It's more attractive. It's more the style. I think that because many managers came in and they said that, I want to play attractive football, high press, do this, that, and the other. But I think we're doing it with a lot more logic. I think there are players who are more suitable to play the style we want to play. We've changed our midfield with Ragovic and Maric, and whether it's Hambo or Evandro or the other players that are going to be introduced later, I think we're doing there's a very big change there. We've got our wing backs, whether it's Masuras or Yunku, Hamas. There's more logic in our game, and it's more attractive. And for now, I'm going to say that the positives are more than the negatives, and I wish that we can build on this, introduce other players. It's very important that we keep something that I said to others. We keep players at the edge of the seat. I don't want to see players being disappointed and frustrated if they believe that they didn't get enough time as they wanted. I want players to be happy if the team's doing well, and be professional enough to wait for their opportunities, because it's going to be a long season. And if we manage to do that, that's going to be very important for us to be able to compete and be a better team than what we saw the last 2 years. But it's still early on in the season.
Look,
3 games still.
I'll go to what we were talking about when Rekdal got the job, and I was doing the analysis videos, and I was doing more in depth. The style of play we were playing, the first 3 or 4 games under Rekdal, it was very, very good. Very good in terms of the passing triangles, the one-touch passing, the give and go, the movement. And this is so, so, so important. And even under Yanni, certain stages of games, the dominance in possession was fantastic. As I said, the movement, everything was sublime at times. Yeah. And right now is a work in progress. Every game we're improving, right? but also don't forget the level of opponent is improving as well. So if we're improving game on game and the level of opponent is improving game on game, it says a lot. Okay. Yes, we still need to improve in various areas, and I'm pretty certain Dambrauskas is aware of this, and they're working on this in training. But for now, are we playing better than I expected? Yes. Yes. But I'm not surprised because I've seen how we can play. There's a fundamental difference. Now, the acid test is going to be the second leg where we have to go to their stadium, where they're going to be fully up for it. And the pressure is going to be on how they're going to perform under that pressure. But as I keep on saying, the circumstances change game on game. So against Kudaisi, we're at home. We had to get the result. We got the 2 goals to give us the cushion for the second leg. The next test was to go there and avoid defeat. We won the game. Today, another test, better team. We got the win. Now the next test is to go there and to avoid defeat. Okay? So at the end of the day, look, if we lose, then we're done, really, really and truly. But at the same time, there is nothing here for me to say that I'm really, really worried. Do you get what I'm saying? There's nothing here for me to say, oh, well, this moment really, really concerned me, because really and truly, guys, and I'm asking you this question because I'm dead serious. In the 3 games, the 3 competitive games, I'm not talking about AEK, the 3 competitive games that we've had, have we been able to turn around and say, there was this moment that really, really worried us and got us thinking, what if?
No, not for me.
Roy?
Not for me.
No, I agree. I agree with everything we said. The only thing I'm going to keep on stressing out is that it's really early on, and it's important that we build a dynamic and a momentum, and at the same time the fans start believing more in this sort of project. And it's important to start building this sort of consecutive wins, so people are also more patient. They get more enthusiastic with the players coming in with the style of play. So it's better that you start always a season on the right foot, and it's easier to build on that rather than having a bad start to a season and then having to chase opponents or paying for your mistakes. So obviously the league didn't start, but because we were limited to these 3 games, I'm going to agree that we're seeing more positives than negatives, and the negatives we're seeing are not that worrying for the time being, in the sense that if a team proves from the beginning of the season that they can play well, then for me there's no excuse for them not to continue playing well. If they're not doing well, then you can say, it's still early. We'll try and see how they can adapt to the game, to the style, to the new manager, to what a manager wants. And it's the same thing with a player. If you see a player in the first 3, 4, 5 games he's playing well, and then he's not playing well, I'm thinking, you already proved to me that you can do that. I know what you can do. So for me, it can only become better. But then again, you're not, like Petros said in his opening statement, there's always 2 teams playing. Maybe later on teams are going to learn how we play. They're going to approach us differently. They're going to start understanding some of our players. It's still a long season, but because the question was just for these 3 games, we're going to all agree, I think, that we are satisfied with what we're seeing so far.
I've got a question for you both, actually, and even for the viewers. Right now, the last 3 games, we've played the same system.
Yeah.
Did we though?
Well, it was effectively a 4-2-3-1.
Okay,
Okay.
From that point of, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about movement and positional changing, right. But I'm interested. I mean, again, this is what I want you guys to tell me. Are you a little bit curious to see how Dambrauskas will change the system when we're chasing a game? If we're a goal down, because we haven't been a goal down yet, have we?
Okay,
Yeah,
go down. We have not been, but I don't know, because when we were equalized in the first game from Torpedo, it was a very quick response to get the heads up again. So
But we
I
weren't
can't
losing.
really
But this is
say.
what I'm saying. So if we
Yeah,
go 1-0
losing.
down, are you guys interested to see if he's going to switch it up? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what? It depends. It depends. Να πεις Ρόι, ξαναπώ εγώ πρώτος.
Εσύ μια που ξεκίνησες.
Okay, it depends from two things, Stel. First of all, how the team was performing up to the point that you went down a goal. If you were playing like and losing chance after chance after chance, and you were good and you were performing, έγινε μια μαλακία και έφαγες έναν goal, I don't think that would be a reason to change the system. But if the system is not working, that the team is playing, then that's a totally different question. But I think that is a question that will be solved when we reach that point, and we will. We will, because the other coaches, the other teams, they're looking at you now. They're writing you down. They're measuring you. They see what your players can do and what they can't do. So I think that is something to talk about when the time comes. I think it's a bit too quick to think about something like that now.
Well, if you, I'm going to agree with Petros generally what he said. If you're persistent in playing one system all the time, we've seen it in the past with other managers in other teams. Like there were times when they said Spilevski with Aris played that system, or Callejo and Orthosis played that system, or if you're really, really good at playing one system, and no matter if the opponents know how you're going to play, you're so good that they can't stop you, is one thing. But if you persist in playing a system, and like Petros said, the game forces you to change something, not just bringing on a player, a like for like player as a sub or whatever. We knew that Dambrauskas played with Metriada and Bisostinamina. It's something that we might see. I don't know what he's doing in the training, whether he's trying different things training. Maybe for the beginning of the season, he wants to play a specific style of play, and then once or twice a week he's trying something different in the training ground, and eventually it's going to come to a point where we're going to have to mix things up a little bit. But if you are playing your system so well that even if your opponents know how you're going to play, but you're so good at doing that, then okay, I can't think of us playing 45, 50 games the exact same system. But there's going to be a time where you're going to have to take an estimated risk, because it's going to be a risk if you're playing a system so much and then you switch things up. I think we do have players in our squad that can support playing a different system as well, because we've got the wing backs, we've got the players to have the ability to change things if we have to, I think. But when the time comes, we're gonna have an opportunity to discuss it a bit more, I think.
And just before you, on the same subject, I'm going to go back to what I told you, Stel. I think it was during the friendly games, and I told you, I made a question for you. Wouldn't you expect that a coach would like to put the fundamentals down for a steady system for now to get the team rolling? And then if you know that, okay, I have this team and I've got this one system that the team rolls and they can play. So now we can, in training, they can try different things to make other variations and things like that. If you remember that I asked you this question.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. I was concerned with the performances over pre-season, even though performances aren't the be-all and end-all. It's all about getting the fitness up. I was concerned mainly because it didn't seem that it was clicking.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It just seemed that. But then when we played against Ajax, it was a completely different
It was better.
performance. It was
better.
It was
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
So they're improving game on game, but there's something again I want to ask you guys and even the people that are watching live. And I know maybe it's a bit of a vague question, but apart from, and I don't want the obvious answer to be goals, yeah. Apart from goals, was there anything you wanted to see different today in terms of how we played? Was there anything that we could have done perhaps first half to maybe get a goal sooner?
Yes. In my opinion, yes. Two things. In my opinion, play from the right side more with Diogo, because Semedo was overpressed, double marked, and I think someone must also speak with Semedo to pass the ball around. Don't just be selfish. I think Semedo must become more of a...
Yeah, do you know what it is? I don't think it's more selfishness. I'm sorry to cut you, but I think what Semedo does very, very well.
Maybe selfish was the wrong word.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say. But the thing is, with Semedo, we saw it a lot last season where he'd have back to goal. He'd have his back to goal and he'd run towards his own goal with the ball, looking for support. But the problem is, when someone's touched tight on him, yes, he's strong, but he's always looking for the foul.
Yeah.
And this referee today wasn't giving them.
No.
He wasn't giving them.
He was letting the play go. Yeah.
Exactly. And sometimes you're going to get referees that aren't going to let this go. Do you get what I'm saying? He's not going to give soft fouls like they do in the Brathima. I've seen the standard referee in Cyprus. You've blown near someone and they go down and the referee gives it, right? And I saw a lot of fans today getting frustrated that free kicks weren't being given. But I'm thinking that would have been a soft free kick to give.
Yeah.
Right? And they were complaining about the penalty when the tug was outside the box. Right? And obviously you don't have the benefit of the screen or whatever, so you're not going to see that in the stadium. But when you're watching these things again, you're seeing certain fouls. And yeah, there were fouls that he should have blown up for. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't a great referee. But at times where I'm seeing challenges go in and I'm thinking, that is a proper challenge. You ain't going to give a free kick for that. Come on, man. Do you get what I'm saying? So again, you need to adapt to that kind of situation. But again, back to Semedo, because he's so good at playing with back to goal and laying it off, I think sometimes he needs to, as you quite rightly said, release the ball sooner. You don't need to take an extra touch sometimes, especially when you got someone 10 yards free to your left.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, I think though the most important tonight would have been playing with Diogo more.
Romo?
I'll agree that we should have played more on the right hand side. And okay, you have to think that we have signed some players who can play that position, and we are still going to sign some more players as well. That even if you add another one or two players of that caliber or that quality, is going to probably make you feel more comfortable to have that versatility. Την πολυφωνία στον τρόπο ανάπτυξης. The other thing is the set pieces, which we have to improve, and moving off the ball a bit faster. We've said that in previous games we did move, and I'm not saying that we held on the ball for too long today, but there were occasions that the persistence on eventually passing the ball to the left-hand side, they could have had an easier pass on the right, and they chose not to do that. So it was, they sort of became εγκλωβιστήκαν στο στυλ ή στην αδυναμία να κινούν την μπάλα και που τα δεξιά και μερικές φορές μπορούσαν να κινηθεί μπάλα πιο γλυόρα. This is another thing. So moving the ball quicker, playing on the right and improving the set pieces. But like I said, we'll still have players with different characteristics that we're expecting a lot from, whether they're introduced, whether they're going to start as starting 11, or whether they're going to be introduced later on in the game. Maybe a different striker with different characteristics. On the right hand side, there's the kid from Poland. There's Alium, who we know what he can offer. There are other players as well. We might see Kitsos come back as well, which, okay, I think I really liked Petros when he played for us, and something we didn't discuss, but maybe we'll have the opportunity once it's official, if it does become official. But overall, I'm gonna go back to what we said earlier, that it's still very early on in the season to expect the team to be like on a 80-90% of their capabilities.
What percentage do you think they are ready now?
That's another thing. For me, sometimes it's concerning when you play that good that early on in the season.
Yeah.
So that's.
I think that's
What-
why he's assembling more of a squad now. And
What do you think is the
thing-
percentage, though, Stel, of the readiness now?
I think we're about 75 to 80%.
Really?
I think 75 to 80%.
I think you went high. I think you went high.
You reckon?
Yes.
What do you mean in terms of? Do you mean fitness? Yeah, but do you mean fitness or form? Do you mean fitness or form? There's a difference.
It's a combination. It's a combination.
Well, listen.
Readiness level of on both fitness and team-wise, play-wise.
But then you could say the same about injuries. When a player comes back from injury, you could say there's two different types. You've got RTP, which is return to play, which is their level of being ready to play, and then you've got return to form, which is returning back to the form that they were before they picked up the injury. So again, I think it's a little bit of a subjective thing, to be honest. But I think in terms of overall fitness and play, you're looking at 75 to 80%. I think.
Δεν είναι πολλά μεγάλη διαφορά. Anyway, guys, πάμε μια ώρα και 20 όπου και να είσαι και έχει πάνω από 100 μηνύματα.
Yeah, bring up the comments, Petro. Bring them up. The one thing I will say is my main concern right now is, as you mentioned earlier, Roy, is set pieces, because in 3 games we've had 27 corners. 27 corners in the last 3 games, right? And we scored once. Now, again, people are going to say that's a pretty decent ratio, but it's what we do with those corners. And I'm not seeing the goalkeeper tested much when we're having these corners. Today, when Irakovic took the 2 corners, I think it was 2 corners, they were much improved in terms of the delivery, but it's getting on the end of it, which is why if we do sign another striker, they need to be able to get their head on the ball, because there's going to be games, I'm going to keep on saying there's going to be games we're going to rely on set pieces and someone to get on the end of them.
Yeah.
Manu.
Okay. I'm going to be putting him up.
Comments, please, Mr. Petro.
Αν έβαζε να τα θυκιάζω, μπορεί να μην τα σχολιάζουμε ιδιαίτερα, ρε παιδιά, ή μπορεί να αφήσουμε ένα πιο απλά να σχολιάζουμε επειδή είναι και αργά. Άλλο κοπέκια, καλή ομάδα, βελτιωμένοι παίχτες, λίγα τα λάθη και εννοείται θέλουμε ακόμα ένα επιθετικό να βοηθήσει τον Πολωνό μας. Από τον ένατο. Stepinski missed the double hat-trick tonight.
Yeah, he was told tonight and he didn't like it. He did not like it. The look on his face, flipping out.
This will be good. Okay. Also, 1 year patch sub.
Yeah, so if you've been, I think if you're a member for a year, you get a new emoji to use. I think I don't know.
Yes. You designed them. They're in there.
Stand with Stepinski από τον Giancarlo, ναι, είπαμε το. Άλλο, κάτι καλό χτίζεται φέτος, need to score what we get, ναι, συμφωνούμε. A lot of missed chances, but I see way more positives than negatives. Συμφωνεί μαζί μας ο Ιέρο.
Αρχίσαμε.
Τρίτον παιχνίδι Ευρώπης με εχθρική διαιτησία, ίσως με τη μόνη ομάδα που δεν παίζουν έδρα είναι η Ομόνια. Θεωρώ το λίγο υπερβολικό. Εγώ θεωρώ ότι στον πειθαρχικό έλεγχο ο διαιτητής έσφυρα με παραπάνω ευκολία τα φάουλ υπέρ της Fehervar, αλλά θεωρώ ότι είχε τις αποφάσεις οι οποίες εκρίναν το αποτέλεσμα. Είναι του λίγο εκνευριστικός και θεωρώ ότι να μπορούσε να μας σεβαστεί λίγο παραπάνω, αλλά να συμφωνήσω και με το Stel ότι μερικές φορές πρέπει να just get up and continue fighting and not bitch too much about stuff. Κάκου ψυχάρα για πάντα τριφυλάρα, είπαμε το Ανδρέα μου, αφιερώσαμε Roy's back, I was back from last week as well, thank you Κάκου. 1 year gang. που τον καιρό που έχει να δούμε τον Ρόιν εγεράσετε με εσείς και η ομάδα σας. Καλησπέρα. Άτυχη η ομάδα μας σήμερα, ειδικά στο πρώτο ημίχρονο θα μπορούσαμε να βάλουμε άλλο κανένα, λίγο δύσκολα πράγματα στην έδρα τους, αλλά όπως και να έχει έχουμε ένα προβάδισμα. Σωστός, ο Πανίκος. Hopefully we can get more academy players in coming seasons.
Θέλετε να πείτε τίποτα για τούτο?
Yeah, come on.
Well, okay, I'm going to say something. We're generally seeing a lot of το κυπριακό στοιχείο να αποδυναμώνεται σιγά σιγά. Δηλαδή, αν κάποιος πει ότι ο Ζαχαρίου και ο Ψάλτης ήταν παίχτες του rotation και που δεν καταφέραν να προσφέρουν εκείνα που πιθανόν να ήθελαν όταν ήρθαν στην Ομονία και φίασαν, προσθέθηκε μες τούτους ο Λοΐζος, τώρα ο Αντρόνικος. Ο Κούσου δείχνει σε πρώτη φάση ότι είναι μες στις πρώτες επιλογές του προπονητή και να πρέπει να προσαρμόσει ίσως το παιχνίδι του, να οριμάσει, να αλλάξει, αν και εντάξει, να έχει παιχνίδια που θεωρώ να βοηθήσει ο Κούσου, πολλά πιθανόν σε κάποια φάση να έρθει μια πρόταση για το Χάμπο. Βλέπω μια κατάσταση διάδοχη, αν και εντάξει, έφεραμε το ρούτερ μέσα, αλλάξαμε προπονητές, στις ακαδημίες αρκετές να γίνουν αλλαγές, υπάρχουν κάποια παιδιά που σταδιακά να ανεβούν, αλλά βλέπω έναν πλάνο με το οποίο βλέπω τους επόμενους Λοΐζους, Κακουλίες, Χάμπους. Μπορεί και να γίνει, μπορεί να κάνω λάθος, τη δεδομένη στιγμή με το βάθος που έχει η ομάδα και την ποιότητα, δεν ξέρω πώς να καταφέρει να κάνει integrate κάποιους μητσούς. Που την Ακαδημία...
Ο Σλέρ νεοφύτου Παπανδρέου.
Ποιος Παπανδρέου, εσύ, αν είναι ο Καραμαλής, ρε.
12 και 20 ώρα.
Ο Παναγιώτης ο Ανδρέου.
Παναγιώτης Ανδρέου.
Οπότε, παιδιά που προπονούνται με την πρώτη ομάδα, τώρα αν θα καταφέρουν σε κάποια φάση να πιάσουν τις ευκαιρίες.
Μια μπίτα σουβλάκια για λόγω, μωρέ. Καταλάβετε.
5 euros, you're cheap. You are cheap. Someone put 50 euros earlier. You're cheap.
Διάμω μια μπίτα σουβλάκια μητσάν τούτος, ρε. Διάμω μια μπίτα σουβλάκια μητσάν. Έχει μέσα μια σμίλα. Δεν θα με κάνει καλά εμένα μια σμίλα σουβλάκια, ρε. Μα περιπέτσεις με τώρα, ρε. Κύριε Λέισο.
Του Πέτρου Πράου, όχι 4-5 μίλες για να κουντήσει μια την άλλη για να πάει κάτω, ρε φίλε.
Ένα λεπτό για μου, γιατί είχα το λίγο με τα μηνύματα. Good luck, Aguli. Πάμε Shilaka. Oh, we had someone from, I guess.
From, he's a Gothenburg fan, yeah? He's following us following the This Is Mupper account on X, by the way. And I put up the video of Gaguli crying, saying goodbye to OmoniaFans. 40,000 views.
Okay.
40,000 views. And they're calling him Cookie now. That's his nickname, Cookie. So they keep putting the Cookie Monster on.
He's also AK because Andronikos Kagoulis. Yeah, yes, he was
we're not promoting gun violence at all.
No.
Do that
I'm just saying the initials of his name. We will
this isn't Texas.
Μηνύματα για Κάκου. Εντάξει, θα τα βγάλω τώρα μηνύματα, ρε παιδιά. Sorry. Κάκου. Δεν θα τα βγάλω από το φίλο μόνο τούτο.
Yeah, they're very demanding out there.
His national friends, Yannis Petros has really succeeded here. Yeah. Petros he's done really well for himself, and he has opened the way for Andronikos as well. As soon as that's true. Seems like he's a very good guy, Andronikos.
Yeah.
Δώστε μου λίγο chance, παιδιά. Τον πρέπει να κανονίσουμε Stel at one point.
Okay, man. Okay. One step at a time.
Requests from the members.
Okay, one step at a time. One step at a time.
We'll see what we can do about that. Αν κάνουμε και λίγο zoom out, 2 σε 3 ο Στεπίνσκι και τι δεν άκουσε.
Exactly.
And overall, I think in maybe 20 appearances, he scored 9 goals. Stepinski, okay.
Something like that,
He sold my league to Brighton this summer for 10 million. Good.
So they produce players and they sell them.
Yeah.
That was right at the beginning. Bloody, how many messages have we got? Flipping hell.
No. We've moved along because I skipped a lot of
okay.
kind of messages.
Το πέτω κατά έποψη οι καλύτερες μονάδες από τους Ούγγρους, αλλά η Ούγγροι είναι πιο ομάδα. Και τούτον είναι μια άποψη η οποία σεβαστεί και...
Ανδρέα μου, εγώ νομίζω ότι ο Γκουόν να παίξει στο επόμενο παιχνίδι, δεν νομίζω να μείνει έξω. Και ο Μασούρας, από ό,τι ξέρω, πολλά πιθανόν να κέψει ο γιος προπονήσεις το Σαββατό μαζί με την ομάδα. Δεν είναι ότι ήταν σοβαρός ο τραυματισμός.
Φούλα ατομικά ο Μασούρας, αλλά όχι με την υπομάδα και από ό,τι είπαν και πριν που ευκιάζες είπες ότι είναι γκράμπες που είχαν, οπότε...
Ο Διουγκό είναι γκράμπα, που ήταν και ότι το Σάββατο... Ήταν άτυχος με το δοκάρι για το Στεπίνσκι.
Evandro does not cover the distance that Hamburg does, and in the middle it's necessary. True.
Yeah, I think Dambraskas would have wanted to avoid bring on Humber today, to be honest. I think he wanted to avoid it, but listen, it is what it is. Yeah, that's... Yeah, there were points during today I was thinking, mate, you need to work harder. This ain't going to fly. People are going to spot it already.
Yeah. How about this guy?
He was good today, to be honest.
He was good. He was needed 3 or 4 times. He did a perfect job. No complaints at all.
Heading the ball away, getting stuck
Heading
in,
the ball away,
yeah.
moving the ball forward. Κανένα πρόβλημα απολύτως. Striker.
I think they're trying to do that. Savastavru. Guys, by the way, how good is marriage going to be for us this year? Χτύπα ξύλο να μείνουν υγιείς όλοι οι παίχτες, να μην έχουν σοβαρά προβλήματα με τραυματισμούς και...
I saw him spraying balls today, man. I was like, yeah, come on.
Πολλά καλό.
Ρώει κανένα λίγο για το γήπεδο, να έχουμε αύριο για τα Σαββατοκύριακα πιάνουν ρεπό. Φίλε, ήδη ξέρω ημερομηνιακά πότε να φκεί, αλλά ήδη διαφημίστηκε και από το κανάλι της Ομονίας ότι και υποσχέθηκε και ο Παπασταύρου ότι να πούν κάποια πράγματα για το γήπεδο, οπότε αν περιμένουμε να δούμε πότε ακριβώς, δεν ξέρω πότε είναι προγραμματισμένο να φκεί, αλλά υπάρχουν όντως εξελίξεις και να ενημερωθούμε όλοι από το κανάλι. Το κέντρο μας φέτος είναι καύλα, ναι, ωραίος.
I have to pull this up again. Like, subscribe.
Like,
99 cents, please.
See, Theodoro? See that? It's 50 euros. 50 quid. You cheap mother... I'm joking. Teddy's been subscribed. Teddy's been a member for time, man. Come on.
Hey, do not take my Smilov Souvlaki away. I'm telling you, huh?
I owe him a chocolate orange, to be honest. So
yeah, he wants around what are they called? Orange. What are they?
Chocolate orange.
Chocolate orange. Yeah. Ma pesi di altre da fi.
Όχι ρε, κάτσετε άλλο, καμιά ώρα δεν είναι να σηκωστώ σε 3 ώρες.
Πιο διογκού για τον Ανδρέα. Επίσης ο Αντζήλ πήγε να αλλαγή, ναι. Έχουμε μπεπόνι ρε Γιάννη. Μπεπόνι. Να χαιρούμαστε. Γεια σου Πάμπε. Δεν ήξερα να πω καμένος με το changes. Ραφαέλ μου, νομίζω όλοι για τον ίδιο παίχτη που συζητούμε, όλοι καταλάβαμε για ποιο μιλούμε, αλλά απλά δεν υπάρχει λόγος που θα τον ανακέψουμε.
I think Evander was messing up a build-up at times.
At times, yes, because he was being a little bit flash, and I think he needs to
At
get that out of
times.
his game. But
Yeah.
Ναι, είπαμε το
Νικόλας,
ζητητό.
ναι. Ναι.
Στελίνσκι was marking more than εννοείται. Μα έτσι με διάφορα. Okay. Στελίνσκι Maris Diungu were the best players. Okay. Pay tribute to your uncle Timos Horerakovic. Was outrageous with opportunities tonight. We need a lot of improvement in finishing, moves, combinations, attacking mechanisms and transitions, and the most shooting. Πράγματα τα οποία είπαμε και εμείς ότι χρειάζεται, δεν μπορείς που το τρίτον επίσημο παιχνίδι να είσαι... You gotta stop giving the ball away in defense, man, it's so frustrating.
Νομίζω στην άμυνα, εκτός που το λάθος στο 17 του Χαμάς, δεν είχε άλλον giveaway, free giveaway of the ball. What do you guys
no,
think?
but look, when you're building from the back, mistakes are going to be made.
Ναι.
They're going to be made. And when you've got two holding midfielders that aren't players that break up play, they're not holding midfielders. They're not they're not like your Makaleles or your Bashes. Do you get what I'm saying? They're not going to win possession and move it on, right? They'll win possession, but it's not going to be tough tackling and like a Gusul kind of thing, right? So they're always looking to move the ball on. And when you've got a team pressing, you're going to make mistakes, especially if you're facing your own goal. But we didn't concede. So I think we need to, all right, be cautious, but at the same time, remember, we kept a clean sheet, which is very, very important.
And without being threatened, guys, we weren't really threatened. It wasn't as if, they could have scored. We said that we could have scored more and we should have scored more. I don't think that Fehervar could turn around and say, "Oh, we deserved at least one goal." I don't think they deserved anything. So
they had a 1-1 on 1v1, and that was in the first half. That was it.
Yeah,
the rest of them were shots from outside the box. But we expected that anyway, if you're in the members area.
Yes.
Vesalowski will be our next game. From what Dabrowska said, he can't pinpoint exactly how long it's going to take for them to be ready to play, even though the players said that they are ready. I'm thinking that, it's up to the manager to decide whether he wants to have him as an option for the next game. It's going to be a week from now.
They're going to do small-sided games in training. They might even do 11v11. He's going to gauge how he's doing. They're going to use the GPS. They're going to use the data to see what he's like. Look at his heart monitor, all that kind of stuff. It's not just like put him on the pitch and see what happens. There's other things that they need to take into consideration. So we need to be patient. And don't forget, he's only 20 years old, for crying out loud. Like 19, all right, okay. Pedants. He's in his 20th year.
Yeah.
Listen, Erakovic gives me an erection, okay?
This for Stel also.
This comment. And when I saw this comment, I deliberately got onto getting the goal. Because I'll tell you what, again, I'm going to bring this up very, very quickly. This is the goal from the game, right? Look who wins the ball back. Eula puts the pressure on for them to make a mistake. It was Hamas. There you go. It's the 1%. Shall I bring it back again? Bring it back, bring it back. It was Hamas that put the midfielder off, that made him play a loose ball. There you go. Did enough to put him off. There you go. And then we worked on it. How many passes is that? Let's count the passes. 1, 2, 3. Irakovic with his things down.
4, 5.
Take that thing down there.
Oh, sorry.
Was that 6?
I think it was 7.
Okay, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. 9, and then 10. There we go. 10 passes. beautiful.
Remalaga, now that I saw the goal from here, it was not an easy kick from Stebinski. It was way over his head. He really had to swing his leg at it. It wasn't an easy kick.
Yeah, of course, it's an overhead kick,
It
bro. It could have hit his shin. It could have hit his shin and gone into the fucking stand.
You know, in the stadium, you don't see it as thingy now. I thought it was more middle body, you know.
When you're an armchair fan like me, you get to see all of it.
Eragovic was sensational, but everyone deserves a high five. Σωστός ο Χρήστο.
Εγώ παίρνω το ρε, δεν έχει πρόβλημα ρε. Ρε, ένα δυο μπάκιτς, να πάει σε άλλη ομάδα στην Κύπρο και να χάσουμε που την ομάδα και τον κόλλο να βάλει ο μπάκιτς στο τέλος και να πιένει και όλοι, λαό σας το. It's our curse.
Ray, have you got him in your wardrobe or something?
I wish.
He's going to change the name of his dog to Bakic.
No, I can't do that. It's a female.
Right. Shall we wrap it up, boys?
Ναι, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, the message from Palic.
Come on, Palic. Come on, my guy. Yeah, another bad referee. He's taken note of all the referees that we're having.
Just one from Basgano. Do you think the team resembles somewhat the team of 2020?
No.
Roy?
Too early.
Όχι. Κοίτα, αν πεις ότι είναι μια ομάδα...
Δεν το αναλύσεις, ένα ναι ή όχι.
Όχι. Απλά προσπαθείς να έχεις ταυτότητα, να γίνεις ομάδα του προπονητή, οπότε αν τούτο να το πάρεις ότι μπορεί να είναι κάτι παρόμοιο, ναι, αλλά σε ό,τι αφορά το στυλ του παιχνιδιού είναι το ίδιο, όχι.
I've just seen Alex's comment at the end.
Να απαντήσω του Κυριακό, και να έβαλε το Λάγκ σήμερα η θέση που παίζει στη Εθνική. Επομένως είναι γνωστή θέση για το Λάγκ.
You can't put Alium at right back. It's like
you can't put him at right back anyway. But where he put Lang today, it's his position where he plays for the national team.
So, putting Alium at right back, you'd be like, it's like saying I'm going to hoover up, but I'm going to use paint instead of hoover.
Εμπάντω και Alium να παίξω εγώ από το playmaker στο NBA.
Λοιπόν,
anyway.
how we wrap it up?
Roy, do your thing, bro.
Ωραία. Νίκη που μας δίνει ένα προβάδισμα που ήταν το ζητούμενο, έναν αποτέλεσμα που παρά τα παραπάνω θετικά που μπορούμε να εξάξουμε από σημερινό παιχνίδι δεν πάει που το να είναι ένα δύσκολο και ύπουλο αποτέλεσμα. Δεν ξέρουμε πώς να εμφανιστεί η ομάδα, οι αντιπάλοι μας στην έδρα τους. Θεωρώ ότι επειδή είναι μια νεανική ομάδα και έχει τον ενθουσιασμό και δεν έχει κάτι να χάσει, ότι σε κάποια φάση να χρειαστεί να επιτεθεί, θα πρέπει να είναι ένα τεστ και του χαρακτήρα της ομάδας και του πώς να το αντιμετωπίσουμε. Το σημαντικό είναι να περάσουμε στον επόμενο γύρο και περιμένουμε με υπομονησία το παιχνίδι της ερχόμενης Πέμπτης που ελπίζω να μας βρει ακόμα μια φορά ευτυχισμένους και χαρούμενους.
Τετάρτης.
Και αυτά γενικά. Και ήταν γενικά μια νίκη που μπορούμε να εξάξουμε πολλά παραπάνω θετικά παρά αρνητικά. Όμως είναι ακόμα αρχή της σεζόν. Περιμένουμε να έρθουν και ακόμα κάποιοι άλλοι παίχτες, να μπουν και άλλοι μέσα στο rotation της ομάδας. Οπότε να ξανακλείσω με το να ζητήσω από τον κόσμο ούτε υπερβολές στις αντιδράσεις, ούτε θετικές, ούτε πολλά αρνητικές. Απλά να στηρίζουμε την ομάδα μας και να θυμάστε πάντα ότι τίποτε δεν διαρκεί πολλά, ούτε τα πολλά καλά, ούτε τα πολλά τα αρνητικά και πρέπει να είμαστε πάντα πίσω από την ομάδα μας. Πάμε σιλακά μου.
Πέτρο μου.
14 ή 15, Τετάρτη.
Ναι, σωστός, Τετάρτη. Έχεις δίκιο, ναι. Έχεις δίκιο, σωστός.
Anything you want to add?
Πάμε σιλακά μου, άλλο μια νίκη και άλλους πόντους για την ομάδα μας για να διατηρήσουμε την πρωτοπορία στους πόντους ομάδων της Κύπρου. Cash να του μέσα, να πιάμε και άλλους παίχτες. Και φέτος η ομάδα πρέπει να κάνει, αν δεν ξέρω, νομίζω η Ομόνια κάνει, αν αποκλείσει 3 ομάδες συνεχόμενες, δεν ήξερα αν το έκαμε άλλη ομάδα για να μπει ο Μίλος. Without the privilege of being, from Champions League and Europa, but had to go through 3 eliminations to get in a group stage. I don't know if another team did it.
Ο Ανδρέας ο Σάτης μπορεί να το ξέρει το πράγμα, ο στατιστικολόγος της εκπομπής.
Ο Στέλ μπορεί να το ξέρει. Ο Άρης έκαμε το. Όχι, είναι που πρωταθλητής που έμπηκε στο Euro που έπιε. Το Αποέλ είναι που πρωταθλητής που έπιε. So if we manage to do it with the...
Anorthosis, no. When they won the cup, no.
Η ΑΕΚ, όχι, νομίζω ούτε γίνει.
Anyway, κάτι που να το δούμε και να το σχολιάσουμε.
Let's see. Anyway, guys, thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your nunna, because I've started talking to one, believe it or not. It's been 9 years. I saw her the other day. Said hello, believe it or not. There you go. Smash that like button and comment, and join our members area for exclusive content. Only 99 cents per month. Tune in tomorrow. We've got a special guest lined up. And Discord, we have a Discord, yes, and it's all in the descriptions. Until next time, boys and girls, and whether you identify as Yalla, Shilla, come on.